Hello and welcome to Open House. My name is Steve Schmidt. I'm going to be your student's math teacher this year, and I'm here to give you a little introduction to our class. So I have your student in one of three classes, either Pre-Calc, Calculus and Applications, or AP Calc BC. I'm going to go over some general stuff in the very beginning, and then for the last couple minutes, I'll make some specific comments about each of the individual classes. So first of all, a little bit about me. Okay, this is my 16th year teaching at Arrowhead. I have a wife named Megan. I have two little girls at home, a 6th grader and a 3rd grader. We got an old dog named Maddie. And again, these are the classes I'm teaching this year. Okay. These are my little girls. If you want to know what my little girls look like, I always show these to the kids one of the first days of class as well. Couple of things just to keep in mind, and these are just kind of a quick little reminder. I like teaching in front of the kids more than I like teaching over a computer. So the better chance we can stay in school, I'd say let's take any precautions we can. Okay. So the biggest thing, I mean, kids know about the masks, kids know about the social distancing the best we can in this classroom. But again, if your student's feeling ill for any reason, keep them home for a day. If we can prevent the spread of any illness in particular, then that'll actually help us throughout the course of the year and help us stay open. I got a little philosophy here, which just it talks more about like what I think math is. And I think math and what the kids need to get out of high school math is more about problem solving than it is about memorizing formulas. There's going to be some non-negotiable formulas that we need to know, but I really want kids to be able to problem solve. I want to be able to provide explanations and justify their answers more than anything else. Those skills are what they're going to take out of a math class more than memorizing any mathematical topic that we talk about. So last year we had that virtual learning. So this year, I mean, I'm really going to strive to, make this kind of more of an interactive classroom, make it more active participation, even if it's participation from home. Okay. We're going to need to have deadlines and accountabilities for those, and we'll have a schedule, and the kids will know where to find it. And we got to maintain academic integrity all throughout the course of the year. So the biggest thing we need to be this year, I would say, is adaptable. So we're kind of in person. We got a couple kids at home, but however, we're not really in control of what's going to happen over the next, 9 months here. But we need to stay adaptable, and I'll mention a little bit about that kind of as we go here. For the most part, Canvas is our major tool. Okay, and you guys, parents, you should be able to log into Canvas so you can see what your student sees. There you will find the weekly schedule. We're going to kind of live and die by that weekly schedule. Everything we're going to do on a day-to-day basis, when assignments are due, when quizzes and tests are, it's usually updated the week or at the beginning of the week. So they should know exactly what's happening if they just take a look at the weekly schedule. Resources. There's going to always be printouts of my slides that I use, answer keys to homework, which they should be using. Other worksheets and stuff like that will all be posted on Canvas. If your student is learning from home, or if we ever all go for virtual for any point of the year, then we're going to be streaming classes via Zoom, and those links are going to be posted on Canvas. Attendance, you got to make sure you're showing up to those digital meetings if you're going to be marked as attending class. Now, depending on how the year goes, that attendance might look a little different. Like, for instance, if we're all virtual and it's a work day, the kids might just need to check in with me real quick and not attend a meeting for the whole class. This is also where they're going to submit assignments. Assignments are going to be collected on Fridays. So the assignments that we do for the week, I collect them digitally on Canvas on Friday, and I've kind of trained the kids to do that. If for virtual students, or if we all go virtual, our assessments will be on Canvas. Okay. And again, academic integrity, I put it again on there because there are, of course, ways to cheat the system, and we're trying to prevent that as much as we can. Kids try to push the boundaries of those limitations and all that kind of stuff. But we need to maintain academic integrity. Your students should not be sharing information about quizzes and tests with other students. They should not be trying to obtain a copy of a quiz or a test from a different class or something like that. Okay, so we need to maintain that academic integrity over the course of the year. And the policies should be outlined in the student handbook along the way. What happens if we all go virtual? Canvas will still be our primary vehicle. Instruction is probably not going to be all meetings. It'll probably be a combination of videos and meetings. I might have them watch a little video for 20 minutes and then appear in a meeting so I can answer any questions they may have. My goal is to get them ready basically, my goal for the past week or two is to get them ready for learning no matter what it looks like over the course of the year. And I don't know, we only have a certain sphere of control, and whether we are in class or out of class, whether we are at home or in school, sometimes is not within our control at all. So we're going to make the best of the time we have together. We're going to make the best of the resources that we have, and then hopefully we'll be able to make it a successful year no matter what. Okay, grades and procedures. So real quick, assignments, this includes quizzes and tests, will be graded on Canvas, but then they'll probably be transferred to Skyward once a week. So you can check individual grades for assignments, quizzes, and tests on Canvas, but again, your final grade is going to be calculated using Skyward. So the different classes have slightly different grade calculations. Most of it is the same, but there's some slight differences in there. Okay, so for instance, pre-calc, you can see the test, quiz, homework, and I have this little lab. A lab thing is like an in-class assignment that we do. Sometimes it'll just be a review. Sometimes it'll actually be like, okay, here's a topic. I want you to explore it rather than me lecture you. Okay, so the lab might look, the lab is usually in-class material. So, Calc and Apps, test, quizzes, homework for the first semester. Their second semester Calc and Apps will be a little bit different. It'll look more like BC. Now for the AP Calc BC and Calc and Apps in the second semester, that is, okay, again, test, quizzes. This lab assignment, though, or this lab portion is really practice AP problems. Okay, for Calc and Apps and for Calc BC the whole year, once they kind of know enough calculus for me to start giving them AP problems, we're going to do it. That's going to make great review all throughout the course of the year. All right, then the semester grade breakdown is as such, and I apologize for this very bottom one. It should say this 18-week grade here should say 80%. And here's my schedule if they need to find me at any point during the day, or if you need to contact me at any point during the day. I'd encourage you to stay involved in your students' math class. Not that you should be learning the mathematics with them, but ask them about upcoming assessments, due dates, homework assignments. Okay, are they up to date on their homework that should be collected at the end of each week? Okay, and more or less ask them what they're learning. Okay, and ask them to explain it in a way a non-math person could understand. Okay, I think creating that explanation kind of will confirm their, kind of affirm their learning better than anything else. A couple other math opportunities at Arrowhead. The Arrowhead has a math team. There is a math competition that UW-Madison puts on. That is the Wisconsin Mathematics, Science, and Engineering Talent Search. So some of my seniors usually participate in that. They award a $6,000 scholarship per year for 4 years for the winner of that. There's one winner kind of in the state. It kind of goes, people participate from outside of the state, but it's mostly in-state competitors. So if they're interested in that, they should let me know. And lastly, if you want to become a tutor and help other kids learn math, that's another option through either the SAS Math Tutoring, which some of your kids have done, or through NHS. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free. I'm going to try to be available on Zoom, and the link should be right by where you found this video, from 6 to 7 on September 17th. So if you want to check in with me there, feel free to do so. If you have specific questions, though, about your specific student, I'd encourage you to contact me. If there's anything you don't want to share with other parents and stuff like that, contact me. We can definitely set up an appointment. There's my email, and you should hopefully be able to find me. A couple quick comments about each of the individual classes. First of all, pre-calc, my goal is to get you ready for college. Okay, get you ready for whatever that next class is. For some of the kids, it's going to be AP Calc AB as a senior. For other kids, you're going to need to take some sort of math class in college, and I want to make sure you're ready for that. The second semester, we can look at placement tests, because a lot of seniors will be taking placement tests, so we can take a look at that. But really, pre-calculus is really, we start to get into calculus concepts, and they'll get a good little preview for what a calculus class will look like, which would hopefully get them ready for next year. We do some other topics along the way that are definitely kind of beneficial for them for any sort of higher level math class. Calc and Apps, 2-year sequence. Okay, so they're taking your student as a junior. I think there's a couple sophomores in there. Should be taking Calc and Apps, this year, and then we'll take AP Calc BC as a senior. These two classes are the equivalent of Calc 1 and Calc 2 in college. I call this class a marathon. There's going to be bumps along the road. There's going to be tough quizzes. There's going to be tough tests, but kids really do great for the most part. Okay, and no matter what, my goal is to get them to learn calculus. And if you want me to be honest, we're going to learn a lot of calculus, and in the process, we will get them to pass the AP test. And we've had great success with this program. We've had great success with student scores on the AP test at the end of their senior year. So really, the students will not be taking an AP test this year, even though I'm telling you I'm going to teach AP material. They will take one AP test next year, and they will get credit for both classes. So at a lot of universities, you can actually get credit, basically up to like 8 to 10 credits just for this one AP test, AP Calc BC. They will get 2 scores. They will get an AB score and a BC score. And lastly, for that second year, AP Calc BC, this is the big time. This is varsity math. Okay, we're going to make sure they know calculus. They're going to get lots of practice. We're going to review all the stuff from the year before. They're going to get, it continues to build on itself. And if you want me to be honest, this class, kids really, it'll push kids at times. Like one of our first chapters, this tends to be a tougher chapter. But we'll review plenty of concepts. You'll solidify a lot of knowledge, and the kids will be great by the end of the year. All right, that's my little presentation. Okay, I always end with a quote kind of like this. So this classroom, either virtually or in person, welcomes all, embraces each, and supports everyone, and hopes that you find yourself better for being here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for checking out my video. And please, if you have any questions, get in touch with me. Have a good night.